There we go. Roger Stone, everybody. I got to tell you, in 2016, thank you, Stan. We'll talk more.
Sure.
In 2016, there's Roger. Look, he's en route. He's a free man, and he's en route somewhere. He's probably, look how rested you look, Roger. You're not as worried. But in 2016, I think I didn't meet Roger until Cleveland, but I talked to him on the phone every couple of months and a couple of weeks, for months on end, about the election, about what was going on, and we've stayed in touch. And Roger, I wanted you to come to this Eagle Countdown all across the country. Our Eagle leaders and others are paying attention. General Flynn just tweeted about this event. We're going to honor Sidney Powell later on tonight here in the Phyllis Schlafly Center. Roger, first of all, tell our folks how you're feeling right now, what your sense is for yourself. Forget about elections and campaigns. How's Roger Stone doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. It is kind of ironic that the fellow Neil Cattell, who is heading the Biden election day theft operation, has opined for Atlantic Magazine that if Joe Biden wins, we have to try Roger Stone again, which of course is not only unconstitutional, but there are no crimes to try me for.
Right.
The left never gives up. Now we have a Department of Justice Office of the Inspector General investigation into my sentencing, which frankly I welcome, because if it's an honest investigation, it'll simply prove the corruption of the Mueller investigation and those who tried to send me to my death in a COVID-infested prison, contrary to the law, contrary to all legal precedents, contrary to DOJ and the Bureau of Prisons' own regulations, despite my age at 67 and my general health. So I just thank God every day that we have a courageous president. And it is absolutely true, Ed, that I am living proof that prayer works.
Yeah.
I'm living the power of the Almighty.
Well, and Roger, I want to tell you a quick story. I don't know if I didn't tell you. I was going to text you about this. I was on the street in Washington, D.C., and I walked into Michael Caputo, who I'd never met, but I recognized. And I said, hey, I'm a friend of Roger Stone. I just appreciate what you're doing, Michael. And I thought afterwards, the number of people whose lives have been really devastated by the nastiness of this environment. You know, they used to criticize you dramatically. They'd say Roger Stone is a tough political operative, but the media plus the left has really, I mean, Michael Caputo is about as nice a guy as you can meet, and he's just been on the ropes because of the media and because of the targeted. I mean, I just wanted you to know how we had a great conversation. I encouraged him like we've talked about. But Roger, how bad is what this media and the left doing to the American people? I mean, I know you felt it, but it's not just you and Flynn. You're the most famous. It's all these other folks who have been chewed up by the grinder of the American media apparatus.
Well, it's not just that the corporate news media and their Democratic allies attack you, but at the same time, Ed, they are censoring conservatives, Christians, libertarians, Republicans, anyone who is a Trump supporter on social media. So that gives you no platform for which to straighten out the record, no platform to fire back, which I've always been fairly adept at. So they smear you, but there's no place you can go to post the counter narrative. It's very concerning. I think it's going to be, this internet censorship is going to be a factor in the election. I wish that the Justice Department had taken earlier steps because I do think this is in violation of the antitrust laws. I think it is it's monopolistic behavior. I do think there are real legal vulnerabilities there, but the election's upon us, and we still have wholesale censorship, shadow banning, and other tricks to limit the reach of conservatives and Republicans.
Roger, I want to, at this Eagle Countdown, we have all these different guests. We had Senator Grassley earlier, Jack Posobiec will be on later, Sidney Powell. And one of the common things we ask our folks as they come in is promises kept. I did a whole book that just came out on promises kept. Donald Trump ran on this. He delivered that. And I ask each of our guests, what's your favorite, what's your most noteworthy promise kept that the Trump administration lived up to when they came, when Trump was running and he kept his promise? What's your favorite promise kept, Roger?
Well, it's kind of ironic because, as you know, I have wanted Donald Trump to run for president since 1988. I wanted him to run in 2000. I wanted him to run in 2012. I thank God that he ran in 2016 to save this country. But in the beginning, Ed, this is almost hard to believe now. People said, well, maybe he's really not a conservative. I mean, he's from New York. As a businessman, he had given to both parties and candidates in both parties. I think his Supreme Court nominations and his judicial nominations overall demonstrate that he not only is a conservative, but he's already left a lasting impact on our court system, and that's just in the first term. So I'm confident that he is going to appoint a solid conservative to the Supreme Court vacancy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I hope that conservative will have no association with the Bush family, because what we don't need is another John Roberts or David Souter. We need somebody who is a solid, real, fire-breathing conservative. I wouldn't mind somebody with a few libertarian tendencies, but no Bush Republicans. Thank you.
We're talking with Roger Stone. Roger, the other question I ask everybody for Eagle Countdown is, okay, we're 42 days out from the election. The title we use for this is Eagle Countdown, America on the Brink. We're on the brink of either a second term of Donald Trump, which I think is a kind of golden age. There's lots of opportunities. There's lots of interesting things. Or we're on the brink of whatever it would be, this sort of darkness. But between now and Election Day, we've got the problem of elections, voter fraud, mail-in ballots. We got the problem you put your finger on is the big tech. It feels like we're up against all the odds again. What should people do? What can they do? What do you recommend our Eagles and folks watching? What should they be doing for 42 days?
Well, first of all, Ed, I think our greatest enemy is overconfidence. I know many Trump supporters told me this weekend, it's going to be a landslide. It's going to be a cakewalk. This is easy. No, none of those things are true. This is going to be skin tight. I think the president is slightly behind in most of the swing states, but he's not so far behind that he can't gain quickly. I do think the momentum is with the president. I think we are gaining. I think the violence in the cities has backfired badly on the Democrats. And for anybody who doesn't think that is connected to the Biden-Harris campaign, go to Antifa as if you were going to give it a contribution. Takes you right to the Biden-Harris website and the same credit card processor. So the Antifa BLM folks, those are the shock troops of the Democratic Party. Those are the thugs that they intend to try to impose their false election narrative on. I think every single listener, every single supporter of the president needs to ensure that everyone, your family, your acquaintances, gets out to vote. Those who are uncertain need to be talked to, as Abraham Lincoln used to say, by people in whom they have confidence. But every single vote will count, and this will not be any kind of landslide.
All right. Thank you very much, Roger. We appreciate you. I'm glad we could connect. Thanks for making time, and we'll be in touch.
Great to be here.
We're glad that you're where you are and that you're safe. And God bless you. And we'll talk. We'll talk again soon. So Roger Stone, everybody, and
thank you.
We need his voice more and more. So we're glad he was on here with us in the next 42 days.